Today on Let's Fish TV, we are at Kiwi Lake, South Carolina. This is a place that has insanely clear water and really big fish. You know, it is a place that I've been before, has a lot of spotted bass, and today that's exactly what we're going to be targeting. They're in that pre-spawn, spawn movement. Today is going to be one of those episodes you're going to want to get your notepad out for. You're going to learn something. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got it.
Out of the day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw. Today, we're at Lake Kiwi. Lake Kiwi is located just about 35 to 40 minutes away from Lake Hartwell and is easily one of the clearest lakes I've ever been to. This place is loaded with all types of fish, but spotted bass is what we're going after today. You know, the fish right now are in that in-between. They're trying to pre-spawn, trying to spawn, and right now they're colliding with a bunch of bait fish in those drains, and that's exactly how we're gonna target them. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this Bass Cat Mercury launch, get everything set up, and we'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi there, everybody. This weekend looks like a fantastic weekend to get out and do some fishing. The Salooner tables are predicting good game fish activity Saturday and excellent activity on Sunday. Peak times begin at 10:36 on Saturday and 11:14 Sunday morning. Prime evening action will begin around 11:01 Saturday and 11:39 Sunday night. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 7:10 and set at 7:53. Evenings will have a new moon. Be sure to join Let's Fish TV on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to stay up to date with our latest fishing adventures, tips, and tricks. Also, don't forget Andrew will be doing an academy tour, so look to our social media pages to see when and where he will be next.
Today on Let's Fish TV, we're headed out on Lake Kiwi. You know, the weather is nice right now. It's dead calm, it's sunny, it's starting to warm up a little bit. We have a cold front rolling in. It's supposed to be 20 to 25 mile an hour winds this afternoon. So a lot windier and a lot harder to catch fish. So we're gonna get after it today. I mean, the fish are getting ready to spawn. The water temps are starting to get up there a little bit. This cold front's gonna kind of knock them back a little bit, but they're gonna be in that pre-spawn to kind of getting ready to the spawn standpoint. So we're gonna be able to catch them off bait, catch them in drains leading into some of these spawning areas. So let's get after it and see what we can do. I think I missed him. No, I didn't. I think he just hit it. He did not get it though. He's coming back after it. God. He just loaded up there and he didn't have it though. Oh, got it. There we go. There we go. Nice kiwi fish here. Oh, it's a bass. Oh, there we go. Spotted bass. Heck yeah. On the old Rage Swimmer. I mean, he choked it. There we go. God, he's like spitting up all kinds of shad. Heck yeah. There's a start to the day. I mean, just completely engulfed that Rage Swimmer. Today we're at Lake Kiwi. Lake Kiwi's just about 30 minutes away from Lake Hartwell. Nice fish there. Golly, they're getting stocky. And today what we're doing is we're taking a Rage Swimmer. And a Rage Swimmer is probably one of the most underrated baits that there is because you can do just about anything on it. You can put it as a jig trailer, any type of trailer you can imagine. You can put it on a jig head, you can roll it on the bottom, on the top, and everywhere else in between. Today what we're doing is we're targeting fish that are located around bait balls. You know, we're getting ready for the fish getting ready to start spawning. And let me tell you, this is my favorite time of year to fish. And Kiwi is one of those clear bodies of water in South Carolina that you definitely should take a trip to come see. You know, between Lake Hartwell and Kiwi being so close together, if one day the fishing isn't as good on one, you can jump over the other, and no doubt about it, you're gonna catch some fish. But I'm gonna get back to it. Let's see if we can catch a few more before the end of the day. Fishing's getting good, man. This is when you wanna be here, and there's no doubt about it.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by the good folks at Freeman Toyota. Whether you're looking for cars, trucks, or SUVs, new or pre-owned, they've got the inventory you want, and they're going to give you a price that you'll like. Now this week, we're continuing our East Texas expedition, if you will. We've come to beautiful Lake Nakanish, and we've come to fish for bass. It's going to be a topwater bonanza this time of year. Start your morning with buzzbaits, spooks, even a popar if you'd like, and run those buzzy frogs over the grass. When that plays out, go out a little bit deeper, run your underspins with a 3 or 4 inch swim minnow on it, or try your drop shots around those creek channels to catch those Nakanish bass. And if it's your first trip, you might want to consider a guide. We're out here fishing with our good friend Eric Wolf with Nakotak Guide Service, and he'd be glad to put you on those bass anytime you're ready. Now out at Texoma, crappie moving back from the spawning areas to the docks with brush. That's very important. Use your side scan to find the brush under the docks, then go back and throw your minnows or your crappie jigs at those brush piles to catch those Texoma crappie. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
There we go. 4-pound line, baby. Oh, no. No. It's a pretty nice one here. He was suspended under that dock. Oh yeah, there he is. That's a pretty decent one. He's suspended under that dock, and my bait, I flipped it past there, and he went down there and ate it. Oh yeah. Not a bad little fish there. I thought he was gonna eat it when he went down there with it. Let's probably not boat flip him with 4. How about that? No, come here. Oh yeah, there we go. It's a nice kiwi bass. Caught him on the new Strike King 5-inch filler worm. Golly, these fish are so healthy here. This is, you know, I found out about this lake a couple years ago, and it has quickly become one of my favorite clear water places to fish. I mean, it has a great abundance of these big spotted bass. I mean, it's not a giant one, but I mean, it's a solid 2 1/4, 2.5 pounder. I'd take those just about any day in a bass fishing tournament. But let's get this fish back. You know, this is just a really, really cool lake. It's super duper clear. I mean, like 10, 15, 20 foot visibility on calm days. Obviously, we don't really have that calm a day today. I mean, it's been blowing like 15 to 25 today. But this is easily one of the best times of year to come to Kiwi. You know, the fish are staging up to spawn. They're getting ready to. I'm gonna tell you, I've never been here during a time when they're bedding, but I can only imagine how magical this place could be and how many fish you could find on beds, and probably some really big spotted bass. But another thing that's known for in this lake is really good largemouth. And I normally don't target those here. I like to finesse fish when I'm here. You know, 4 and 6 pound test, you know, throwing that drop shot, that new filler worm, throwing that 2.75 inch rage swimmer, downsizing my bait offerings to try to trigger some of those fish. This is a tricky lake. It's not like every other lake you've ever been to. And I think that's the reason you need to come check it out. I mean, it's just a really cool place. And honestly, I can't wait to catch another one. I'm gonna get back to it, see if we can catch a few more bass before the end of the day. I got a good feeling about it. We'll see y'all here in a second.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion.
That's why I use bigger line right there, guys. It's just for that reason right there, to be able to boat flip these big spots. There we go. Oh, that feels like a better one there. Nope, it's a little one. God, that water is so clear, it's crazy. There we go. Not a bad little fish. Golly, man, like this place is absolutely loaded with these size fish right here, and they're really not that hard to catch. It's pretty incredible when you get into a fishery like this where you start dialing in what they're eating. And this is a perfect example of what they're eating right here. I'm gonna grab this shad real quick. He just spit it up. Right there. This is a little threadfin shad. So this fish is not, these fish are not eating herring that are back in this little pocket. But I want you to look at the size comparison of these two. Look at that. Almost identical in size. And it's, you want to talk about matching the hatch? That's what that 2.75 inch rage swimmer does, is it matches that perfectly. I'll lay it in my hand so you can see it even better. But I mean, the size comparison is almost uncanny. And that's why they're eating this swim bait so well. You know, you hear anglers all the time talk about, hey, you got to match the hatch, match the hatch, match the hatch. In this situation, that's what we're doing. But let's say, for instance, these fish are eating larger bait. You know, they're eating a herring, they're eating bluegill. You know, there's swim baits out there that match all of those things, but if you don't pay attention to how the fish are eating and what they're eating, you won't figure that out. But this particular swim bait, this color right here is called Tennessee shad. This is probably one of the two go-tos that I have most of the time in the Rage Swimmer lineup. You know, I either throw this one, Ghost Shad, or the Pearl Flash. Those three swim baits right there, you can pretty much cover the gamut of everything you need. Every once in a while I'll throw Sexy Shad in, and that new Sexy Shad 2.0 looks really good too. But the 2.75 inch Rage Swimmer is easily one of the biggest go-tos that I have when it comes to swim baits. It has an uncanny action in the water, especially reeling it slow. But I can't stress enough, if you're reeling that swim bait, do not set the hook when you feel the tap. Just keep reeling it, almost like a topwater with braid. You know, you're sitting there walking that topwater. You never want to set the hook when you see the splash. You just want to keep working it until you feel pressure. Exact same thing with the swim bait. As soon as you feel pressure, then set the hook. If you do that, you'll catch more bass. Let's see if we can catch a couple more.
Matt Pangrak here with the Bass Talk Live podcast, and this is your weekly fishing report for Oklahoma. This week, we're going to go just west of Tulsa and focus on Keystone Lake, one of the best lakes in the state for numbers of quality largemouth in that 2.5 to 3 pound class range. It's springtime. The water temp is in the mid 50s, and on Keystone, that means one thing: shallow rock is what you're going to want to target. A 1.5 square bill, a white or a black and blue chatterbait, and a shaky head are really all you need to get the job done. You can also throw in a buzz bait on those low overcast mornings as well. But as these fish start to spawn up on the rocks, they become very catchable. You can just look for small channel swings, secondary points, broken rock along the bank. Keep your boat in 6 to 8 feet of water and cast to the bank, deflecting that crankbait off of the rocks or the spinnerbait or chatterbait off of the rocks. And once you get a bite or two, you can really run that pattern throughout that mid-lake area. You don't need any special electronics. You can just go down the bank casting and really catch a lot of nice largemouth this time of the year on Keystone Lake. Hey, for more tips and tactics on bass fishing, check out the BTL podcast every Monday through Thursday at 8:30 a.m. on the BTL YouTube channel and iTunes.
There's one. It feels like a better fish. Can't really tell. He's got me deep. Oh, here he comes. I don't know. It might have a striper or something. Oh, it's a dang good one. Ooh. That's the best one of the day so far. Check out the size of that one. Holy cow. That's why I use bigger line right there, guys. It's just for that reason right there, to be able to boat flip these big spots. That's a really good spot for kiwi. Saw him out there just right off the edge of this riprap with active target 2, and she went over there and trounced on it. Man, that 2.75 is killing it today. This time of year, you know, when these fish are getting ready to spawn, you know, we're so close. They're still pre-spawn. We actually had a cold front, and I think had we not had the cold front and had some more warm days, I think they would be spawning right now. But one of my favorite ways to catch spotted bass, I don't care what part of the country I'm in, if there is a bridge there's big spotted bass. And I will always say that, and I will always fish a bridge on spotted bass fisheries, especially ones with herring. It's something about bridges, the herring, you know, especially a funnel point, those, you know, there's always current going through there. Those herring like to navigate through there. And one thing about it, big spots are always around. Now you're gonna have, definitely on pilings, you're gonna always have spotted bass on those pilings, but the really, really big spots are more like loners. They're always by themselves. They're always kind of just roaming around eating those herring. I know there's some big spotted bass in this lake. I've seen some before, but this particular lake, if you catch those 2 and 3 pounders, you've done a really, really good job. And this lake is not just loaded with 3s and 4s and 5s like maybe Lanier or Hartwell or Smith Lake, but it does have some good ones. And if you're in the area of Hartwell, Lake Hartwell country, you need to come check out Kiwi. I'm gonna get back to it. The day's getting ready to end. I wanna catch me a few more before the end of the day, and hopefully we'll catch another nice one. That was a good one. Let's see what happens.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pull, Total Boat Control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
Check that out. Clobbered that rage swimmer, at 2.75 inch rage swimmer. Because it's about to go down right here. Here they come. There we go. Yeah, that's a good one there. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, check that one out. Wow. Oh, goodness gracious. That was a big school of big spots right there. Jeez. Oh, look how fat that thing is. Check that out. Clobbered that rage swimmer, at 2.75 inch rage swimmer. I mean, goodness gracious, guys, that is one of those big blown out spots. I can't stress enough the importance of paying attention to your electronics this time of year, that pre-spawn, leading into the spawn, and this is what it's going to catch for you. But finding the right bait, you know, today we're catching them all in that 2.75 inch rage swimmer, minus one random one on a drop shot, but just an awesome fish. This area, and I'm not just talking about Lake Kiwi, but Hartwell, Kiwi, this general area is one of, if not my favorite places to come to catch spotted bass. You know, recently I did a show on Lake Hartwell, catching big stripers and hybrids, and I knew I had to come over to Kiwi and shoot another one, because the spotted bass show I did here last time, we were catching them 4-pound test, drop shotting, and it was like midsummer, late fall, you know, or early fall, and it was really a tough bite, and I wanted to really showcase just how good this place is. We literally, and this is no exaggeration, we literally idled across from the boat ramp that we were at and started fishing and catching fish. And we basically shot the entire show in one drain. We haven't had to go run around and do everything. We did catch one good one on a bridge, but otherwise, almost the entire show was shot in one drain. We didn't even have to go look anywhere else. You find the shad, you find the bass. Whether it be shad or herring, whatever the fish are on. Now, the electronics are so good these days. I mean, not even just the forward-facing sonar, but just your regular sonar, finding the shad. This lake is phenomenal. It's got so many bass in it, and you can catch them doing just about anything you want to do.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lose, feel the difference. Strike King, tie one on. And by Glacier Outdoor, outdoors since 1982.
Hey guys, real quick, I want to talk to you about our Let's Fish TV Academy Tour for 2024. We just had our very first event in Lufkin, Texas, and let me tell you guys, it was an absolute blast, and I got to meet a bunch of my fans. We had nearly 50 people at the event, and y'all absolutely showed out and showed up. We gave away a lot of free fishing line, had a free fishing seminar. We have 2 in Alabama, and then ending it up in June at Columbia, South Carolina. Each event will be at an Academy Sports and Outdoors store, and I will post this on our Let's Fish TV and Andrew Upshaw Fishing Facebook pages so y'all know exactly when and where that you need to be. But guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason we did the Academy Tour this year was to give back to you, the fans, the people who support Let's Fish TV, support Academy Sports and Outdoors, and to give you something in return. You know, one of our biggest supporters in this is Strike King. Strike King is giving away a free spool of line to everybody that comes in and brings their reels in. Doesn't matter if it's bait casting or spinning reels. And guess what? If you forget it, I'll give you a spool of line anyway. So guys, the Let's Fish TV Academy Tour is definitely something you want to check out. This is new for 2024. The first event in Lufkin, Texas went out with a bang, and I feel like every event after this is going to be even better. So make sure y'all stay tuned to our Facebook pages to see when the next event is, especially if it's close to you. If you get a chance, make sure you share it on your Facebook page so everybody can share it too.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today on Lake Key, we used a couple different baits to catch our fish. You know, first and foremost, I was using a drop shot. This is kind of my backup bait when the fish get too close to the boat, or I see an individual fish that's sitting around a dock, and that's what we used it for today. I'm using a new 5-inch filler worm. This is a little 5-inch finesse worm, morning dawn color, and 4-pound test line. This 4-pound fluorocarbon. And as you can tell, it's straight fluorocarbon, no braid or anything like that. You don't want to use braid when using 4. It's kind of intimidating to use such light line, but I'm gonna tell you, when you get on these insanely clear water fisheries like Kiwi is, you wanna have that insanely light line. A 6'9" medium light action rod. This is a luge rod. It is discontinued, but more so than anything, find a medium light to light action if you're using that 4-pound test. But probably the most important aspect of using insanely light line is a reel. You gotta have something with a very smooth drag. This custom light 300 size spinning reel by Luz is the one that I turn to day in and day out. It is the smoothest drag of any reel that Luz makes. I can use 4 with like 0 concern whatsoever. But I'm gonna tell you guys, the breadwinner here, the one that I turned to that absolutely demolished the fish today was a 2.75-inch rage swimmer on a 3/8 ounce head, swim bait head. This is 10-pound test fluorocarbon. You know, this matched the hatch perfectly with the shad that were out there. It has such a nice wobble through the water, especially at slow speeds. And you know, that's the thing that people don't understand. But in this clear water, you need to be able to fish that bait either insanely fast or insanely slow. That's where using the right gear ratio reel comes into play. This is a BB1 Pro by Luz. It's a 6:1 gear ratio, or 6:2 gear ratio, I'm sorry. And that's what you need for really slowing it down. The rod I'm using is a Magnum hammer. You know, we actually make it in the Custom Pro series, as well as the new Custom Light series has the Magnum hammer. It has the perfect amount of tip on it where it'll load up when you set the hook on those fish and not overpower or pull the hook out or bend the hook or anything like that. It's the perfect bend of a rod for a small swim bait like this. But remember guys, and I'll leave you with this, if you're fishing that swim bait, do not set the hook when you feel the bite. That will yield you no results. You have to make sure the bait loads up, the fish loads up on it, and as soon as you start feeling pressure, then you set the hook and you will catch way more fish on that swim bait. But guys, until next time, I'll see you on the water.